Well, hello. Thanks for joining us for our devotion this week. Hopefully, you'll enjoy this and you'll get a lift and be encouraged by the time we leave. Even though we are going to talk about one of the hardest things, one of the worst things that happens in the life of a Christian here in just a minute. But before we get to that, I want you to know I'm sitting in the loft where our wonderful high school students and middle school students meet when we're meeting on a regular basis. As you know, we meet on Monday nights with our high school kids and Wednesday night with our middle school kids. And generally we have 40 or 50, sometimes 60 kids on both of those groups, and we have a blast. So we miss Loft and Edge. We miss you students, and hopefully soon, Lord willing, we'll be back together in this fun room and having a great time together at Edge and Loft. So that being said, let's get on to our devotional. I'm going to tell you a story about a cow. The cow's name is Melby, and I'll tell you a little bit about Melby and also talk about, as I said, one of the most challenging things that happens to us as Christ followers. So you probably know a lot about cows. Of the 50 states in the United States, 9 states have more cows in them than people. Florida's not one of them, but Florida does have a lot of cows, millions of cows, as you might have guessed. And you can drive almost anywhere in Florida and see cows somewhere on the side of the road, walking around or sitting or doing what cows do best, I think, and that's eating. And cows eat a lot, and that's what they do mostly, at least that's what I've observed. And you know this, but cows will stand there and they bend all the way down, they put their nose all the way to the grass, which is what they mostly eat, grass and hay. And they just eat the grass. And what a cow does is a cow will eat some grass and he'll see a patch of grass in the pasture a little bit further over there, and he'll walk over there and eat some grass, and he'll walk over there and eat a little bit more grass, and they'll just meander through the pasture eating grass. Well, imagine a cow like Melby doing this, and lo and behold, he's eating this patch of grass and eating that patch of grass, and the gate's wide open, but he doesn't know there's a gate, and he sees more grass on the other side of the gate, and he goes there and eats that grass, and he sees a patch of grass up the hill a little bit, and he starts heading up the hill eating grass, and he's eating grass, and there's actually some trees and maybe some woods, and he heads into the woods eating grass, eating grass, eating grass, and after a period of time, he gets full, and he picks his head up, and he looks around, and he says, "Where in the world am I?" And I think that's the kind of thing that happens to us as Christians. We don't necessarily, and sometimes we think this is what happens, but we don't necessarily commit any big crimes or any huge sins or do anything terrible. We're good people. We're actually going to church maybe relatively regularly. We're good people. We're nice. We're kind, all that. But we start to, and this is the most dangerous thing I think that happens to Christians is, like the cow, Melby, we start to just meander off course. We drift. We don't even know what's happening. And we get to a point, hopefully, where we pick our heads up and we say, where am I? How did I get here? I don't even know where I am. How did I get so lost? How did I drift so far away from my Christian roots? And I think that's one of the things that happens to a lot of Christians. In the Bible, Jesus talks about this kind of thing. Of course, it's all throughout the scriptures. But in Matthew 11, verses 28, 29, and 30, listen to these words and think about Melby the cow drifting away. Think about how this happens to Christians. It may have happened to you. It may be happening to you now, where you've drifted away and you're thinking, how did I get here? All right, and I think this is a great story. Now I'm going to be reading from the Message translation. It's not the translation you want to read from if you're really trying to dig deep and study the scriptures, but I think it really speaks to us today, especially in light of what's happening with this coronavirus and being quarantined and that stay-at-home order and things like that. So keep this in mind, okay? Verse 28, Matthew 11, verse 28. Jesus says this, "Are you tired?" Right off the bat, a lot of us are tired, stressed, kind of freaking out by this. Are you worn out, burned out on religion? And then Jesus says this, "Come to me." Just come to me. He doesn't say, follow a bunch of rules, stop doing this, start doing this. He just says, come to me, come to me. He says, get away with me and you'll recover your life. Wherever you've drifted off to, if you know someone who's drifted off, Jesus says, just come to me and you'll recover your life. And he adds this, I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. What a beautiful passage. Just spend time with Jesus. Walk with Jesus. Watch how he does it. That's his invitation. Listen to this sentence. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. Okay, grace. Our Christian faith is not a bunch of rules. It's grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me. This is Jesus. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. That's the end of the reading. Man, isn't that what we need today? Just to learn to walk with Jesus, to watch how he does it, and live freely and lightly, spending time with him, resting with him in the midst of all this chaos that's going on. So if you've drifted a little bit away, or you feel yourself starting to just kind of drift away like Melby the cow, just know that Jesus is saying to you, come on back. Come walk with me, spend time with me, and I'll show you what life is really all about. Okay, so I hope that's encouraging to you. God bless you. Thanks for joining us on this devotion, and we'll see you online in church. God bless you.